At the last round of the Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series, the plot thickened. Damien Assailant unloads David Russell, and in the championship, this has got implications. Webb locks the rears. This has got a familiar ring to it. Moffat in a Falcon winning at Sandown. Contact with Webb. The championship contenders. James Moffat was mounting a comeback in this championship, but that really hurts. But today, Howard Racing are back on top in the Fujitsu V8 Series. Now we've arrived at Queensland Raceway. Those who call it their home track defend it with vigour. It may look simple on paper, but this place is a fortress. The gatekeeper this year is series leader David Russell. Get by him, and success is likely. It's the business end of the season, and time is ticking for the V8 Supercar stars of tomorrow. Well, it's round 5 of the Fujitsu V8 Supercar Series from the sunshine here at Queensland Raceway. But Damien White, this place havoc with everyone.
I love this track, but the thing about this track, and especially with these guys this weekend, they have a race in the morning, a race in the middle of the day, and a race in the afternoon. Now, the importance of that is the track temperature changes so much, the car setup needs to change to match the surface temperature.
And one of the things here at Queensland Raceway, the bumps, there's lots of them.
Mate, turn 1 and turn 3, look out, the cars just do lots of this. The shock control over those bumps is absolutely critical if these guys want to be able to do consistent lap times.
And one of the things that's been consistent about this racetrack in the last 5 years in the Fujitsu Series, the pole sitter has managed to go on to win the round at the end of the weekend. And this weekend, there are a whole pile of drivers at the front of the field who know this place very well. Home track advantage is often lauded in Queensland, but while the attention is very much on the top 3 in the title fight, 4th place Grant Denyer is still very much a factor.
It's such a competitive championship. Everybody, we'd run each other into the fence, you know, if it meant that we could all get a drive in the main series. So that's how hungry everybody is. But Moffat, I think he's my man. You know, that's the guy I want to chase down. He's just a couple of points in front of me, and I'd love to be a 3rd in the championship. It's tantalisingly close, and anything can happen because we're hungry young kids, and most of us, me included, aren't that smart.
Jumping past James Moffat will be a challenge. With 4 race wins and 2 poles from 4 events, the only way he looks like going at the moment is up. Second in the championship, Jonathan Webb is still chasing his first race win of the year. He's already led the championship once this year, and at Sandown he was just 1 point away from getting it back again, when a rush of blood damaged both his and Moffat's charge. Contact with Webb. The championship contenders. That incident helped David Russell win the last round and extend his series lead. At this track, he should feel safe in the knowledge that his team has won 2 of the last 3 years here, and he has the home track advantage. But all of that doesn't guarantee a podium.
We've got some big braking zones, and there's a lot of opportunity for passing, but also some opportunity for mayhem as well. So I'm not going to approach this round any different to the other ones I have.
Some Fujitsu racers could be forgiven for having their mind focused on October rather than here in Queensland, with many having main game drives at the Enduros. Sam Walter moves back into his older model VZ Commodore this weekend to keep the VE that he and Taz Douglas will race nice and pristine. MW Motorsport teammates Brad Lowe and Damien Assailant will need to avoid one another, unlike in Townsville. They've locked in a deal to run the Enduros in Lowe's car, but carrying Assailant's colours. Kiwi Daniel Gaunt has snared the 4th seat at Stone Brothers Racing, while Shane Price has been confirmed to join last year's Fujitsu champ Steve Owen in the Autobahn Commodore. Carl Reindler is back as he prepares to join Jason Bright for the Enduros, while Jonathan Webb has locked in an appointment with Jim Beam Racing. Colin Cedars is having his first run in 2009 and is getting ready to join brother David in a wildcard entry.
We'll be using Chassis 10 from Triple Eight, which is the car that won Bathurst in 2006 with Craig and Jamie. It's the first Falcon Craig won Bathurst in, so it's a pretty special car. It's won a lot of races and it should do us well.
but just making it to this level has been an incredible effort, 12 years after surviving a horror car crash.
Well, basically, the difference between my car and everyone else's car is we run a hand clutch, as my left leg's paralysed, so I don't have good enough control over the clutch pedal. So basically, we fitted the Harley-Davidson front brake lever, which works as our clutch.
All up, over half of this weekend's Fujitsu grid will line up against the V8 Supercar Series regulars later in the year, but they're champing at the bit to have a crack at the big boys. But for those who've missed out, this is their last chance to impress.
At Queensland Raceway, it was Jonathan Webb who was fastest in qualifying. And for the second time this year, he gets the Armour All Pole Award. In race 1, the question was, could Webb make the most of his front row start?
Webb and Moffat from the front row of the grid. Price and Russell take off to turn 1 at Queensland Raceway. And Webb has the line, but Moffat will argue.
I can't believe he's going to try to stay on the outside of Jonathan Webb. There's no grip out there. David Russell now the chance, but Moffat still the outside of turn 2.
Side by side on the run through turn 2, and Moffat out wide over the curve.
While the front runners streaked away, there was plenty of fighting further back.
Colin Corkery, the young Kiwi, back in the series this weekend in the Paul Morris Motorsport VE, fighting hard with Leanne Tanner and a bump on the exit of 3.
Fighting hard, it's like tit for tat. Corkery was down the inside of 3. Now Tander back on the inside of turn 4.
And watch out too for Gene Rollinson, the Race Image Falcon. Up the inside, he's back in the championship this weekend for the first time in quite a while.
Some pushed it a bit too far.
Ben McCashney closing in as Rollinson looks under brakes at turn 3. No way that's going to work.
Supercharger, all right down the inside.
Taz Douglas having a look at turn 4 on Jeff Emery. Sam Walter, they'll team up at the Enduros, and how's that for help?
3 wide on the exit of 4 into turn 5. Taz Douglas, great move on Emery, but Walter the beneficiary.
Damien Assailant, the Fujitsu Falcon on the wrong side for the final turn at turn 6, but he tries to sneak back down the inside under brakes.
And when you've got the inside front lock like that, you're always going to end up in the door.
Grant Denyer started from 9th in the Dick Johnson Racing Falcon, closing in on Carl Reindler.
Oh, it's a big dive under brakes. He's going to have a go.
He's not close enough, but he gives him a tag.
Bump and run, baby. Reindler will be filthy.
And it's on the penultimate lap as well, so Denyer takes off to the races. Rodney James just in behind, and Rollinson in drama again.
He seems to be having a lot of problems down there at turn 3, pulling the car up.
In the end, no one could touch Webb. He led from start to finish to take his first race win of the year.
There's been 11 races in the Fujitsu Series this year, and finally Jonathan Webb wins race 1 at Queensland.
Pole position and fastest lap as well as a race win, and look at that, only 2 Holdens in the top 10.
Russell and Moffat round out the top 3, but Webb is home a winner.
Jonathan, it's been a long time between drinks. Finally a race win. Congratulations.
It has. I was just speaking to the guys, and I think they were saying it's Bathurst last year was our last race win. So, yeah, almost 12 months, but great to be back on the top. The boys have done a great job all weekend. I think basically been on the top of the timesheets through practice and qualifying, and to follow through now and win the race is just amazing.
Stick with us after the break. It's race 2, and we'll reverse the top 10 on the grid.